right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Unholy Trinity podcast.
Ollie.
I think
Jolly.
so.
Charlie.
Say Ollie? Did you say Jolly? What'd you say?
Wait, I don't even remember what I said anymore.
I thought you said
Are we?
we.
I said are we?
Oh, are
Yeah.
are we?
And yes, we are back. Let's do a quick introduction before we jump into
Righto.
stuff.
What up, y'all? It's your guy, the one and only Z to the E to the F to the R to the O to the S,
Yes.
Ross, or also called Deo.
Yes.
To my left, the one and only.
I am whatever you wish to call me, man. Boys, the vibes are a little scary again in this episode, huh?
Gary?
A little bit.
What was that?
I think
Yeah,
That's
you're
why.
clearly
All
scared.
right.
All right.
I am
Well,
a seal.
Yeah. And I am Jack. Yeah.
Just Jack.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm kind of forgetting what I usually say. Yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, we back in this. We're back in this.
Jack in this, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, completely forgot what to say.
Who are you?
Oh, okay, yeah. So podcast.
We're in a
Yes.
podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
All right, we'll go through the structure of today, but before we do that, quick thing: the Woo Awards voting poll is currently out, and it's linked in the description. We might talk
yeah.
about it more at the end. I don't know, but just like for now, quick thing: it's there.
Get on
Go
it.
vote. Your
Really do.
favorite movies and stuff. We have something. We have the thing coming up.
And for those new listeners who may be unfamiliar with the Wheel Awards,
We can do
we'll
that at
talk
the end.
about it
We'll talk
later.
about it at the
Fuck
end,
all
that's
of
fine.
y'all. I don't give
Yeah.
a shit about our new listeners.
All right. Now,
Well, everyone's going to play that off, actually.
yes.
We actually got to do address the new listeners.
But
Who
we'll
was
do
a
it-
big thing, but we'll talk
we'll
about
do it
that
at the
later
end.
in our regular discussion
Yeah.
session. Anyways,
So I'm looking at Cracker Island right now.
Cracker
Doesn't make sense.
Island.
But moving on. Yeah, so as usual, we're going to go movies, TV shows, news, discussion, because our episode's probably not going to be that long. This will be shorter than the last one, definitely, because that one was
Yeah.
like 2 hours long, crazy.
why
But
did we do that?
Because
It
we
was a
got
good
wrapped
idea,
up in the
and
Marvel
then,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, and also for today, we're going to be reviewing a certain big movie, probably the biggest movie of the year.
Hmm.
But
the Blue Man Group.
the Blue Man Group.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dabba-dee-ba-doo-ba.
But let's start with what we watched this week in terms of films.
Mhm.
And the only movie that between the three of us that was watched that wasn't the movie we're going to review was Avatar 1, the 2009
true.
classic.
I have never watched the first Avatar.
All right, well, that'll be an interesting perspective when we get into
I
this
watched
sequel review.
3/4 of Avatar
But-
1.
I thought I'd
Yes.
give my brief thoughts here so that it could be easier for comparison later.
Yeah.
I think the first movie, it's a solid film. It's not a great film. It's good. I think it's enjoyable. I was going to say things that are a bit of my thoughts on the second one, but I'll leave that. But the first one's essentially, it's a story of, it's Pocahontas with blue people, right? Jake Sully and gang come down to exploit some minerals, unobtainium, from the planet Pandora.
Marie, get me my minutes.
Yeah,
I missed something.
I don't understand what he's talking about either. I think he's.
Hank and his minerals.
Oh, I thought you said marine.
I said
Oh,
Marie
it's
because his
a
wife.
double. It's a double thing, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. You know what I? You know,
I get it.
because they're marines in the movie. Yeah. But the only
didn't get
one
it.
Breaking Bad here is Jake
Oh.
Sully, because he joins the Na'vi, falls in love with Neytiri, and joins the clan of the Forest Clan. Something with an O. I can't remember the name of their clan.
Yeah.
Racist? No.
But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like, it's definitely a movie that I think everyone should see because it's like a huge impact to the film industry.
Yeah.
Very good looking film, still holds up
Yep.
surprisingly. Though, like, I mean, like, to be honest, it definitely has Uncanny Valley. Like, the mocap is far from perfect for that movie. Like it's really good for its time. Don't get me wrong, but like it's pretty wacky. But it had a lot of cool stuff, and like it boasts achievements. Like mocap introduced basically perfected 3D, like what 3D visuals look like, and it started a whole trend in the early 2000s, like
2010.
early 2010s, sorry, of putting everything in 3D for some fucking reason, even though the movie wasn't made to be in 3D, so it just looked like shit. Fun, yeah.
How about Ice Age?
But the what?
Movies that aren't supposed to be 3D, but
Yeah, probably.
such as I think of an early 2010 animated
Just like literally
movie,
every movie was like
The Minions.
Toy Story.
that wasn't Toy Story. That was the 90s.
Huh.
That's like about.
Maybe Toy Story 3.
That's about 10 years out. Toy Story 3
I
was
don't
like
know.
I think
I'm lost
2014
in
or
this
something.
discussion. It's all you.
But yeah. It also did the thing of having complete CGI environments.
Yeah.
There'd be some sets, but like pretty much none of it is really practical. Something that will continue with the sequel. Because we're talking about, because we were watching with Ibrahim and he was talking about how, wow, it looks like New Zealand. No, it doesn't. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was shot in New Zealand on a
Yeah.
on a soundstage
Okay.
because everything is CG.
Well, it's just a jungle in it.
It's
It's
a
a CG.
complete CG jungle, except for like occasionally they'll have like little things like maybe like the crashed
Yeah.
helicopter or something. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
they'll build like some things, but not really. And there's a lot more stuff we could talk about with in Avatar 2 and the way that they did stuff there. But yeah, it's not a great movie, but I think it's better than most people think because it's weird because it's the highest grossing movie, but it's kind of underrated because everyone's like, oh, it's the highest grossing movie, so it's shit, bro.
They expect
Did
it
they
to be
say
the
that?
best
Oh,
movie.
that
because
That
it's
is
the
literally
highest
everyone.
grossing
Everyone's
movie.
like, I bet you can't name a single character, blah, blah, blah.
Jake Sully.
Jake Sully, bitch. Yeah.
That's it.
And Natiri. I think Natiri is my favorite character.
Jake Sully's
That's
kind of
another
shit.
thing. The characters in the first movie are pretty shit. Like, I will give them that. They are pretty good. Except Natiri. Natiri's cool. But Jake Sully sucks as a protagonist. But he gets much better in the sequel. I won't get into that.
He has a better
But,
role.
Well, yeah. So, anyway, my thoughts were pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Check it out. It's kind of like it's like a 6 out of 10 movie. Like, it's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
For the most part that I watched.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. It really is kind of, I guess, narrative. A bit of a product of its time.
No, it's not. Like,
Like, I feel
narratively,
like,
it is.
as in like the character, how characters are portrayed. And
Nah, I disagree. I think it's like decades behind
yeah.
because the film was conceptualized, I think, in the 80s. Correct me
Oh,
if
is
I'm
it?
wrong. So, like,
Let us know
The-
in
It
the
just feels
comments.
old.
yeah, it's a very old timey, like, because it was literally, it took ages to come out. So, yeah. Probably an even bigger wait if you think about it than for the new Avatar to come out. But just nobody
Yeah.
knew it was coming out because it was
No one
Yeah.
cared.
because it literally just was, yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point. That's that. Okay, we'll talk about the sequel now. This is how
Yes.
Avatar 2 sequel talk.
Yo.
Way of the Water, that's the name of it.
Yes.
Film is directed by James Cameron. It stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, I believe her name is.
I don't.
Gamora actress. You know.
I don't think.
Sigourney Weaver. Fuck, that's kind of. I mean, there are more people. Oh, Kate Winslet's in it. That's she's
No.
working with. I have a funny Kate Winslet story, so we'll probably get to that later. Yeah. Let's just go ahead. What's our first impression? Start with you.
It looks pretty cool. They got stuff going on. Rather, it looks good. Very nice.
Oh, it's getting your praise for how the visuals are getting even higher. Like, it looks cool. It looks good. It looks very nice.
It looks very nice. Yeah. From what I remember, movie's pretty epic, I guess. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my
quite
time.
epic, yeah.
They had cool fights. Got cool animals. I like them, and they don't have cool kids. They be kids,
Damn.
but they serve their purpose. So I am content with their existence.
Kids exist. End of story.
Yes.
Best visuals of the year.
Best
They did.
visuals of the fucking decade, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a better looking movie than this one, if I'm being honest.
Water. They got water right.
Yeah,
That's the way. That is the way.
yeah.
And
So, did you like it? Is that
Did
he
you
said
like
he liked it?
it?
He liked it, yeah. Yeah. I dug this one. Visually, it's a fucking spectacle. It's insane. The visuals are like, wow. Not all the time though. Like when the visuals are going at full force, it looks better than anything you've ever seen. However, there are times when the visuals aren't very good, such as the animals. Bro, like some of these fucking textures are like so weirdly low res. It was just weird. It's also to do with the motion smoothing and the high frame rate stuff that makes everything look a bit strange. Some people have been saying this looks like a video game cutscene, and like there is good and bad aspects of this. Like that's not necessarily a diss because video game cutscenes now look fucking phenomenal. However, sometimes it has like weird things. I'll get more into that because I have a good example, but like, yeah. The story for this movie is pretty awful. I saw a lot of reviews go like, "Oh, great visuals, very simple story." I disagree. You see, Avatar 1, that was a simple story. This one has a simple like core story, but then they just go on a bunch of fucking side quests and shit in the middle of the movie. This movie is over 3 hours long. It is bloated as fuck, in my opinion. The first half of the movie, like low key, wasn't even like worth it. It was just like fucking like I did not give a shit, bro.
You and I are laughing at about this.
Yeah.
We missed the first hour of the whole movie.
I like the first like scene or two because it's set like it gets like immediately into the threat. Like, I can't really spoil it, but like things happen immediately, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then once the consequences of said thing happens, and you meet some new characters, let's just say, the movie just goes all the way like down, and like I lost all interest. But for some context though, I saw it at 1:45 in the morning at the IMAX in 3D because I was like, there's no other way I'm going to experience this movie. So I watched it like that, which was draining on my sleepiness, but like totally worth it. And I recommend that's the way you should go out and see this one.
That is the way.
Yeah.
Of water.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like if you want to actually see James Cameron's vision in full, you got to see it in the way he put it out. So like, that's probably the best way to see it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I miss Cameron.
It's actually straight. If you go to the cinema and you watch it in, there's like a couple of options, but I think if you see it in 3D, you have to see it in a high, like I would say high
Variable
frame
frame
rate, but
rate.
it's not true. It's variable frame rate. The film's marketed with a high frame rate. It has high frame rate in it, about as much as it has standard frame rate. Like it's about 50-50 because literally every time they cut, it's a new frame rate. So
Yeah.
it's like, which we'll talk more about. This is still first impressions. So I just want to say, okay, I think the movie, to be honest, is like better than the first, but not by that much, in my opinion. Like I'm like, okay, visuals, obviously amazing. The storytelling, not very good. But which is kind of, I like the storytelling in the first movie more, if I'm being completely honest. However, the characters are a lot better in this one. And I think it gets like surprisingly emotional by the end. And yeah. So like, yeah, I think this is a great movie. Definitely go out and see it in theaters while you can. Like see it as many times because in total honesty, I wouldn't watch it again outside of the cinema. because I'm not seeing through a 3 hour and 15-minute film
Get
that
your own
is
IMAX
pretty
system.
boring for half of it.
Yeah,
But
do
like,
that.
yeah.
That's easier.
And that's
How-
also the thing. When it's being boring, the visuals at least hold it up.
Fair
So
enough.
at least you're looking at something cool. Sorry, you can.
I cut. Out of curiosity and as a tangent, when did you get home?
Dude, I got home at like 5:30.
Earlier than I expected. Did you have many ads at the start?
Yeah, we got the Did you get the Tom Cruise thing? Oh wait, you didn't say. So I'm not quite sure if it's for Avatar or just if you see Avatar in IMAX, but you get an exclusive Mission Impossible thing,
Right.
and it's very cool. And like, so I recommend. That's also a perk of seeing an IMAX. But yeah,
Cool.
it's very nice. All right, we'll talk
Yeah.
about acting.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I feel like is
don't know.
one of the biggest points of this film, right? In terms
didn't
of
taste
the
it.
motion capture.
Motion capture. Yep.
I think it was like pretty much like
Yeah.
not really any uncanny valley.
Oh.
There is one cool thing. I didn't actually know about this until after I saw the movie, so this could be a minor spoiler, but like skip ahead maybe like 40 seconds, all right? So to say that the kid of Sigourney Weaver's character is played by Sigourney Weaver again. So she's actually doing the mocap and the voice, which is kind of fucking insane.
Mm.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Loki also one of my favorite characters in the movie, I reckon. But yeah. So that's
Cool.
the only thing I would say. I think everyone gives a great performance in this one.
Yep.
The mocap was like pretty much on point. Oh wait, there was one performance I didn't like. There is a certain character. I'm not going to get too into it because it's going to end up in a bit of a rant and a little bit of a spoiler thing.
Uh-oh.
There's a character called Spider in this film.
Uh.
Worst character in cinema, but like besides the point, the acting wasn't very good there. So like,
Bro.
it was
Bro.
just
just
yeah.
because he's
So I'd say
monkey.
on the whole, pretty good performances, except why did we even have this character? And the actor wasn't very good in the role even. So like, yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I like the acting.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you
Alright.
could you tell the mocap was like
Better than the last one.
was it real?
It all
I
felt
think
real
it's
to me.
as real as it gets,
Yeah.
probably. Comparing it with like, video game cutscene.
Comparing
Yeah.
it to real life. Is it
Real
real
life.
life?
It's not like infinite FPS does.
No.
But no, in terms of like the look and like the ability to capture each detail.
Overgrown Smurfs are real.
Smurfs are real.
The 9
They
feet.
look like living things. Yeah.
No, it all looks realistic.
Very cool.
Acting was good.
Oh, I like also funny New Zealand guy who they just
Oh.
literally just gave him like a full New Zealand accent. It was pretty funny.
Was he a New Zealand guy? Are you talking about the fishing man?
Yeah, bro. He had the absolute full-on New Zealand accent. It was
It
great.
was very more Aussie than New Zealand, was it?
Nah, mate.
He doesn't have the mate, fishing. Doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Hey,
he did.
get the whale, mate. Yeah.
Or was I just really tired?
guy. Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was a New Zealand accent.
Was it New Zealand? It wasn't very New Zealand to me.
I leaned more towards Aussie or
Yeah.
even South African.
It wouldn't be South African because they shot. In,
I know.
it
You're saying
would
they
be
But there
can't
over
could
fly
still
this.
be
South
South African people in the place.
But I feel like he wasn't very Kiwi.
Yeah.
In
Sam
no.
Worthington is Kiwi though. I'm pretty sure. Like the main guy, Jake.
Or has he
Oh.
lost his Kiwiness?
Let's just compromise with he could be anything.
Someone from the South Pacific.
From New Guinea.
Sure.
I know a South African.
That's cool.
They,
Also,
they sound like Australian.
Well, have they lived here for a while?
Yep.
Oh,
that
that's
probably explains it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's acting. Then writing,
Hmm?
which is where I feel like the issues of the film lie.
Go ahead.
All right. It's hard to talk about things without spoiling, but okay. So yeah, things happen. Okay, one of the main points of criticism though I'll compare it to another movie that did it, but did it worse. It has actually, I don't even really hate it that much, but it feels very familiar to the first movie. Like they borrow a lot of the same elements in the way the plot is structured, and same plot beats happening as well. You got your character goes into new environment, has to learn the ways of the people.
Yeah.
You've got the. Well, I was gonna say something big, but then I realized it was a spoiler. But there's like a very key. Let's just say there's a key character in this movie that is literally playing the exact same role as the last movie.
The Chosen.
No.
Yes.
But
Yes. We are leaving this obscure.
I can't tell
confusing.
you who it is, but unless he was in the trailer, but I don't know. But
The
to
bad
be honest,
guy.
I
Winston
liked
Churchill.
this character, and it was.
Winston
Is that
Churchill.
Buzzy?
There's AC outside.
Cool. My tinnitus is being tinnitus. Anyway,
A low frequency tinnitus.
yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of similar plot points. But also the movie is like Avatar 1, protect the forest but protect the water.
Yeah.
That's
Protect
this
the
movie,
fish.
which I actually
Oh.
is one of my biggest issues with this movie, if I'm being honest. Like I like the messages of the protect the water stuff. The actual central core of that message occurs roughly, let's say, 75% of the way through the film. You find out what is really going on, and it factors kind of so little into the actual conflict of the movie that I'm like, why is this here? Then it adds a secondary villain that I'm like, why are they really here? And I don't really get the point.
Social commentary on the Japanese.
It was, and that's the thing. It kind of was, and it was like, for a 3.5 hour movie, 2 hours I think were dedicated to a plot line that felt so out of place in the grand scheme of the thing. Because I feel like the overall central theme plot of this movie is family,
Yeah.
and they do things like paralleling villains' perspective on family with hero's perspective of family, what family means to this other clan that they meet, blah blah blah. And then you just have like a random ass plot to do with the environment that does not fit, doesn't pay off at all, unless you count a like bit of an action thing.
It's payback from
But, like,
the funny whale.
Yeah, the thing with the whale, like it
I
doesn't
know,
really
whale all the
fit.
time.
And like the parts where they're all
Okay.
like hanging out in the water and shit, and then the camera's like, look how cool the water is. It's visually cool, but I did not need 40 minutes of it.
What?
So like, yeah. Also, the movie is like weirdly paced like a TV show. Did you find that? They literally
Like,
cut
they-
to like they'd fade
so-
to black, and then like a new
Oh, they do
episode
have-
starts
wait.
where they have a bunch of little arcs happening, and it's weird. Like it's honestly like really fucking weird.
Like,
You've got like
Chapter 2.
I could actually point out all the arcs, but I need to do it in the spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
For that to work. But like this movie does little arcs, like a fucking season of TV. So which is like literally what bad pacing is when you're looking at a movie. So like, yeah, pacing was atrocious. It was a bloated ass movie at 3 hours and 15 minutes. The dialogue was there was a lot of laughing moments, bro. Like a lot of the dialogue was really weird. They'd say things and then we'd just be laughing because the dialogue just wasn't well written. I also did not like the use of voiceover throughout the film. It was very
Bit of a
cringe.
narrator thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was part of the chapter thing. Oh, fade out.
His
Faded.
internal force
Yes.
Yeah.
leading
This
in
is
between
happening.
It
each
would,
arc.
but it would undermine the serious scenes when like they do some emotional stuff, and then you've got fake deep speech in the background. And I'm just like, bro, this is cringe. Also, I'm a little bit confused why the weekend is. Why actually it's
Oh,
sound
it's
just
just
the
a
audio.
funny
Hey,
cameo.
Well, we'll get to
that.
So overall, but oh yes, my main positive is the characters are all pretty good. Like Jake Sully, much better in this movie because they're playing him as a father.
Mhm.
Neytiri, unfortunately, if you're a Neytiri fan like I am, she is incredibly underutilized in this movie. That is, yeah, it's a shame because they introduced a bunch of new characters, so they kind of have to cut other characters a little bit. Oh, pretty much the entire first cast is gone, aside from Jake's. Like in terms of like the side characters, they're pretty much all gone. You'll get cameos from them, but like nothing more than that.
Yeah.
I like the new children brought into it.
Children.
I don't really. Their role in the story was very cliche and a bit too overused in the way that they go. Like the plot progresses because the children keep fucking shit up, and then they'll get into worse situations because of the children keep repeating stuff, which
What's
is like a very
children?
cheap way to doing it.
What's the Spanish for children? Is it actually childrenos? No.
It would be probably like close to like Bambino, wouldn't it?
Bambino.
There you
What does
go.
Bambino mean?
I don't know.
It means
Kid.
child in
Yeah.
Italian, so I assume it would be similar.
So you
Little
gotta-
duendes.
Is it? Yeah.
That means
He doesn't
goblin.
know how to speak Italian, bro. I mean Spanish
Italian.
or
I know.
Italian. You left Italian, bitch.
Yes.
Yeah,
See.
Duende means goblin.
cool.
So little duendes.
So what's blue then?
What's blue?
Then you have blue goblin
Yeah.
for the little kids.
I don't remember.
What's blue in Italian?
Sacre
don't remember.
bleu.
And then we'll do a fusion.
Don't remember.
Don't remember? Sadness.
Yeah, and I said
Yeah.
what are they? It's L'Aqua.
L'aqua.
Yeah.
L'Aqua.
L'aqua
Duende.
duende.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the characters, like the kids, seem to have pretty distinct personalities, which I liked. They kept reusing the same tropes of them fucking things up.
Mm.
Yeah.
I also really liked this character. I think her name was like Curie or something. Yeah. A lot of it, you get the start of. You do get a complete arc for her, but it is more a teaser for the sequels. I feel like her character is definitely, and I have my own theories about that. But genuinely pretty intriguing stuff there, and which is why all of the stuff with the own characters, because the characters all have their things they need to have resolved, like their internal conflict resolved. Why don't they just focus on that and not have to shoe in this whole environmental plot? Even though I get that the Avatar franchise whole thing is to be about the environment, but it just feels so out of place, and that's literally why it's over 3 hours long when it does not need to be.
Because they need to give whale friend to the kid.
Climate change is real, people.
Yeah,
Oh shit! I'm gonna get out.
but like ultimately, I
we're
don't
gonna
know,
get our
nothing.
podcast cancelled.
We'll get into spoilers obviously because it's not it.
Oh.
But oh yeah, I really don't like the character of Spider. Firstly, cultural appropriation king. Secondly, he cringed as fuck. Thirdly,
The monkey.
he has literally no motivation in this movie, alright? I could not tell you what this man is thinking because he is not thinking. He is in places where he needs to be for the sake of characters to figure out things to lead to other things for the plot to happen.
Things happen.
He is a plot device. No, he's literally like an inanimate object. He literally is. He is in places. They don't address that he is in those places. None of the other characters even notice him for like the second half of the movie. It's really fucking weird because he'll appear in a place and they'll be like, oh, you're here. Like he was there all along and not doing this other thing, which is obviously a spoiler, but it's fucking. I genuinely don't understand what they'll think of this character. It's like they started writing him and then just forgot.
Yes.
Like seriously, there's zero motivation for this character. He's not even a character. He's literally like a plot device and an inanimate object. He's just there, and it pisses me off, bro.
Damn.
Did you hate
Spider.
Spider too?
Yeah, I recognize that he's not very well placed.
Yeah.
Yes, he hasn't
Yes. Yeah.
around the place.
He
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
is.
Spider.
It's fucking
More
dumb.
like.
Did you
Human
like the
boy.
children? Because you said something about the children at the start.
Like,
And there's
yeah, I don't like that trope of just like, oh, children, they be fucking up
Yeah.
because they children, you know. I guess that progresses the story, which is why they serve their purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I just don't like children.
Did you like
Fucking up.
the character of the children?
Feel like in their own arcs, they're alright.
Did you like the older brother?
Feel like he's the typical character.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of underdeveloped
Yeah,
in terms of
the-
an actual plot.
Yeah, he probably has the least in terms of this
Yeah.
to do.
Other
Well,
than-
actually, other than also other than the little one,
The
she
mini-
doesn't really do anything, but she's
Yeah.
kind of adorable and makes
'cause
you care.
that's a trope as well, yeah.
Yeah, but like
It's
to be
very
honest, I got
true.
very emotionally attached to
Mhm.
these kids too.
Oh.
Yeah, you like the younger brother?
He's the one with the most development.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So I'd say like
it was
that's
her
okay.
and Kiri probably.
Yeah,
Him and Kiri. Yeah,
whale friend.
I feel
Yeah.
like the children of the new people I didn't
The
like.
fish people. Well,
The
they're
clan.
just kind of
I
there
didn't
to
really
be.
actually like the clan people that much at all. Like, I guess the parents are alright, but like, they also just didn't really have much to them.
Yeah.
But the children were. One was a fucking asshole, and
Well,
I
they're meant
didn't
to
like
be
him.
assholes. Then
The
they're
other one-
friends.
They framed in a potential romantic interest light, but didn't really go anywhere. Also,
Yeah.
she kind of has no personality, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
So,
She's just a nice girl.
yeah.
When I think about this film, actually, I feel like they've cut out a fair bit of it.
It's 3 hours. Yeah.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty
It
sure the
feels like they
extended cut's
tried
going to be
to-
like 6 hours or something.
Because if
Damn.
James Cameron is writing like a 5-part thing, this felt like 2.5 parts in itself that they've tried to cut that into one.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I see like one loose thread, which is probably going to be as a sequel to do with Kiri,
Yeah.
but there's nothing else I think that's the loose thread in this one.
Oh, and not as in loose ends, I just felt like there's like 2 movies worth of material in this one film, and they've cut out a whole other bit of as well. I feel like there's not as in the loose end stuff, but it's just like there's some parts kind of feel incomplete.
Sure.
Oh, I got another loose end, but it's kind of spoiled.
All right. Yeah.
Yo,
All right. Cinematography.
cinematography
I think it's good.
is good.
As
As
you
you
said.
said.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Oh yeah. Fuck it. Fuck the cinematography, bro. You know, and the
It's good.
oh,
No,
you
fuck
guys
it.
didn't see the start of the
Double
movie. So you don't
take.
know what I'm talking about. They're in the spaceship, and then the camera does like a 360.
Spinning.
And then because we're at IMAX in 3D, we were just going, oh. There's a couple of moments when they spin the camera and it makes us feel like throwing up. So yeah,
Damn,
Fun.
That's crazy.
which is pretty immersive.
I would
Immersive.
100% have actually thrown up if I was there.
Yeah.
3D
close
already
your
makes
eyes,
you throw
you.
up enough.
Close your
Once
eye.
throw up.
Close your eye.
Yeah.
You spin around with it.
Oh yeah, that's how you.
That would be 4D.
Mm.
Well, yeah, side tangent. Yeah, you know, this ride at Luna Park, right? I went on, and it's like you're in like a little thing where everyone's sitting around the outside, right?
Carousel.
And then the ride goes full 360 upside down
Yeah, I
while
know that
spinning,
one.
right? I noticed a weird
3D
thing. I was
carousel.
like, when you're upside down in the air, you don't feel the height because it feels like you're on the ground.
Mm-hmm. What? Yeah.
Because you're getting
Yeah,
flipped so fast you
you're-
don't realize.
Yeah.
That,
centrifugal
but also
force.
because you're literally upside down.
Yes.
Like your feet are pointing towards the sky, right?
You
So you don't feel the
push.
height because it just
Oh,
seems
no.
like the ground is the height. You know what I mean? Because you're literally the opposite.
Because you're standing on
No, you're not standing on anything.
the sky is the ground.
Yeah, like the sky is the ground. Because the way your perspective is flipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, yeah.
Don't you still feel the gravity push down? Or
Well, I don't know. I guess.
For the listeners that aren't seeing my face right now, I am just very. I am not
Just
following
thinking.
this lines
No,
of
'cause-
these lines
okay.
of logic, and I don't want to really follow it.
You know how, you're, when you're on the ground, right? So, say you were upside down, right?
Yeah.
It's still,
because when someone feels the perspective of height,
yeah, for
It's
height,
a little
you're
down.
feeling like you're, up here, but you're, you're not upside down, right? For when you're feeling height, you're up. Like, you're
Okay.
you're vertical, right?
Okay, then that's
But
just
then
subjectively
when you're
then.
upside down, but you're high, it's like vertically flipped.
Your brain don't realize, or his brain.
Uh,
Do you get what I mean?
okay, now I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Brain
And I feel
trickery.
like that's just you.
Yeah.
That's just a subjective feeling.
Because
Can
me
you
and my
feel
homies
it?
all was like, yeah,
Can
we
you
can't feel
feel
the
it?
height because we're upside down.
Okay,
Fair enough.
cool. That's a very nice
But
experience.
anyway,
If you feel that, then you feel whatever you want to feel.
but yeah. So,
Feelings aside.
Man, it's
all
all
right, we'll
about
just get
facts,
editing and
not feelings.
visuals. And speaking of feeling things, the visuals are fucking insane. Like the way they, because in 3D, right? The way they project like the water and shit. So it's like when you're in like tiny space, like there's a really cool moment at the end where they're running through a tiny ship space and trying to get out, and the water fills up.
Yeah.
And it's fucking dark, and the cinema is entirely black, and then it's fucking insane. It's like you're trapped in there, and I felt the claustrophobia where I was like, oh, it's uncomfortable.
Can you feel
But I love it.
You like drown.
I did feel like drowning.
You still feel like drowning?
Yeah, I feel like drowning myself every day.
In your
For real,
tears,
for real.
in the pool of your own tears, of course.
Yeah, how beautiful this movie was. I was
So emotional.
I actually got.
That was not a
I actually
word.
teared up in the movie. Me and Sunday were crying at the end.
Damn.
It gets pretty emotional. But yeah, we'll get to that more. But very cool. I also like the world building in this, but that was probably more writing. But yeah, anything to add to editing and visuals?
Spectacular.
Yeah, like I can't stress this up. Like it is probably the best looking movie
Beautiful.
you'll ever see in your current life, like up until this point.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Does it look more realistic than this movie?
They'll be like, yes.
I mean, okay, like objectively, speaking objectively, this is probably the most realistic looking, completely CGI film you'll ever see.
Besides,
I
Just
think the
Dance.
blue people are the best looking CGI.
That's-
Have you seen
I'm just
better?
making a thing of realism in blue people.
Blue.
Okay.
Blue.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty
Fish.
cool. All right, we're gonna get into spoilers now. So, this is your
Wait,
spoiler
audio
warning.
music.
Oh, wait, audio and
Oh.
music.
Because you have to address.
The week.
I mean, this is just the fact that this is just the credits, bro. It's like, why is the weekend? Because we got the movie ended. We're like, oh, that was pretty fucking good. And then the weekend started playing. And we're like, the fuck.
I mean,
Remember, I like the weekend, but
Oh.
also
Even
like,
for the toilet.
I know, yeah.
yeah.
But the movie ended, and I really had to piss, and I missed out on the weekend.
Oh, Lachlan peed in the middle of the movie actually,
Yeah.
and he went and checked the time. He's like, we're an hour and a half through. And we're like, are you fucking kidding me? This feels like it's been going on forever. It was in the middle of the bladed part.
That week.
Yeah,
Maybe
like,
got a
why is the
funny
weekend?
fun fact.
It doesn't really matter because it was
James
just the
Cameron
internet.
personally.
I mean, I assume he
Maybe.
did because he's the director. Yeah,
So thank you.
Thank you.
yeah.
Cool animal noises.
Cool
Yeah,
animal
Very
noises.
cool.
Oh, I'm not sure. I can't remember if it was in this one. But do you know what the animal noise in the first one was? Like it's specifically it's a reused sound of
Which
another
animal?
famous other famous creatures from a certain film.
There's multiple and
Yeah, all the animal noises were animal noises from another film.
from Jurassic
Predator?
Park.
Yes,
Wow, I was
Why did I
correct.
say predator? I'm
Because
just being
Predator.
stupid.
Predator is alien.
I know, I'm being
Yeah.
stupid.
Might be alien because they aren't alien.
Jurassic
Wow,
Park.
they're dinosaur.
But yeah,
Dinosaur.
they used Jurassic Park sound effects. For that. I can't remember what they used for this one. I think it was better. The score, I don't think it's as good as the first one, though it's hard to be. The score of the first one was like pretty mind blowing. This one was, but I think this one was pretty good. They reused tracks in the first one.
Makes sense.
They used like the big one where the like everything was fucking trees falling down and shit. In this one, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
But yeah.
What are you going to say? Everything is awesome.
Everything is
Nah.
awesome. Everything is
Yeah.
cool.
All right,
Like I said,
anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah, all right, we'll get into the
My recorder's like realign this. Excuse me while I fiddle with my
Fiddle.
stick.
real.
Fuck it.
Spoiler
Spoiler
zone.
zone.
You know, I didn't feel it last week, but this week playing that theme, it felt like nostalgia. It felt like good times.
Good times.
Yeah. It felt like
Speaking
good
of
times.
nostalgia,
Felt different, hit different.
Yeah.
13
Felt
years in the making. This film was
30 years?
13.
13 years.
300.
Yeah, about 300.
Keep
Yeah.
it 300. Like the road. 300. Yes.
Anyway, where do we start? We're talking
Let's
spoilers.
talk about the kids, yo. They showed up in the movie pretty early.
Yeah. I'm like, I kind of vibe with the kids. They are pretty tropey, I guess, but like, there's a good bond between all of the family, and I did care about them. Also, like, just because the mocap was so good, like,
It looked like a real
they look
kid.
like real, yeah, kids. So it's like pretty cool.
I'm a real
And yeah,
boy.
Sigourney Weaver was
Mm.
back again.
How do they miniaturize her to be?
That's a fucking good
child?
question. I genuinely don't know. But
Maybe they could just use the mocap and just make us smaller.
I guess
So they
so.
would have adjustments to that, I assume.
Once again,
Yeah.
very talented team. It's the Weta Digital, right? Which I think are New Zealand or Australian based. They're the
think
people
a lot
that
of
did Lord of the
VFX was-
Rings.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
From the credits, if I remember.
Yeah.
Because guess where they shot the film? New Zealand.
Mordor.
Center of the earth.
Do you know, like, yeah, so it was just a little behind the scenes test. They kind of shot the film, obviously, like, not the entire film, but like for the water sections, they had this giant tank that could fit 300 people.
Oh.
Or like, it would have been bigger than 300 because the most of people they had at once was 300 in the water, I think.
300. Like the Romans.
For real.
They all drowned.
Did the Romans?
Leonidas led his people to their
Oh,
deaths and
They did all
to a
die,
watery
that's
grave.
true.
Is that the Spartans? The Romans?
Yeah, Spartan.
Spartans,
Led by
they're
Leonidas.
from,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
They did die.
Yes.
Cool.
Spoilers for 300.
But yeah, that's how they did it. Also, just a funny thing, Kate Winslet returned to do another water film, which is funny because she got hypothermia doing Titanic and said she wouldn't work with James Gunn, James Cameron again, unless she was paid millions, which she probably was.
Got him.
This film
Get
was
that
made
buck.
approximately for around, let's say, 400 million. I don't really understand the bullshit James Cameron thing of like, oh, this film has to become the third highest grossing movie of all time to make back its money. No, I don't think it does. To break even, to break even. To break even, I'm pretty sure you have to make double. Like, you have to double. You have to
Yes.
meet the thing and then, like, basically make profit, which is breaking
Yeah.
even. So, theoretically, if it was 400, you'd need to make 800 million to break even, which isn't good. Like, that's not considered a profit. Break even just means
You made your money.
you made your money back. Yeah, so it's just
So
like,
what is the third highest grossing movie? Do you know? Or how
Wait,
much?
don't tell
what's
me,
the
don't tell me.
nominal?
it's Avatar, Endgame, either Titanic or Infinity War is third. I'm
Wow.
gonna say it's Titanic.
If only it gave me a easy list of
Well,
right
considering
now.
the advertising,
Just without adjusting for inflation. Yeah.
Avatar, I think it's being hard for it.
Yeah, the marketing budget would have been pretty huge. Yeah,
So you're locking it in?
I think it's Titanic. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, and then after that's it, Infinity War.
The Force Awakens.
Fuck that movie.
And then Infinity.
Yeah. Oh wait, did I make my Force Awakens comparison? It's like, bro, this movie is kind of like the Force Awakens, the way that it reuses like it's a rough structure of the plot, but the Force Awakens was shittier because it was like way more just the plot of the last movie of The New Hope. But this one is like similar plot, but a lot different. Whereas that movie was barely different. It was just reskinned, really, which is why I don't like that movie. But that's besides the point.
Besides,
Another Disney franchise.
how low?
Avatar.
Yes.
last tape.
So you want to talk more about the kids? Yeah, I like Kiri. Interesting character. Generally gave a shit about her. And I was like, bro, everyone's being racist to her, but like she's kind of the coolest because she has, my theory is it's like she is essentially immaculate conception and she is like brought to life by the god of the Avatar universe, the one that she has a connection with.
Yeah. She's the chosen one, yo. She's Jesus Cristo.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
The whole mythology behind Avatars and Pandora's whole thing.
Yeah. It's not as deep as like you would think. It's like
Yeah. But they could take it deep.
yeah, they're gonna in the 5 sequels, whatever.
Yeah, wasn't that the question though? Who
It's
the
still like,
mother?
to be honest, it's still
pregnant?
like a pretty basic. Just because like all the things have weird names and stuff, it's still a pretty basic sci-fi universe.
Yeah.
In the way it's like, oh, they have a god. That's kind of like a pretty basic thing. They have tribes.
Yeah. Wasn't the question was she doesn't know the dad? Who's the
Doesn't know
dad?
the dad.
It's kind of like
Which, to be honest, that side plot did feel pretty out of place because it's just set up for the next movie. But like,
but it might be mirroring Jesus Cristo.
yeah, that's what I think it is. Yeah.
I was like, oh, Jesus Cristo. Because as you said, immaculate conception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought you were just speaking Spanish again.
Jesus Cristo is a big man in the sky. Rainbow man.
Cool.
Yes.
Technically, isn't the big man?
Well, he's sitting next to the big man in the sky,
sure.
supposedly.
I'm very confused. Let's move on.
Anyhow, what's to say? The other kids, I fucking hate Spider. Okay, Spider-Man
He hates
continue.
little
Before
boys.
spoilers. All right,
Let's go on.
you were introduced to it at the very start of the movie, and they're like, "Oh, Spider." Essentially, he's kind of abandoned by his father because his father obviously died in the last movie at the end. And then like it shows just like every day he'd come from the camp, fucking put blue makeup on, and then play with the kids and shit. And you're just like,
Blueface,
bro, man's
baby.
literally doing Blueface. Like, what the fuck?
The rapper.
And then he is so fucking stupid in the movie. Like, I can't. Okay, what's it? Where to believe? Okay, he's like absolutely loyal to the gang, right? He gets captured, obviously, by the villains, right? And so firstly, I should set up who the villain is in case, like, because I avoided talking about it in non-spoilers. But it's the same villain as the first movie, except it is a cloned Avatar version from roughly like the middle of the first Avatar movie. No, actually, more towards the end, after Jake betrays him, but before he dies. Which is actually I thought a really good way to bring him back because it's all already established canon essentially that they can put minds and things. That's the whole Avatar thing.
That's
And
how
after
Jake
all, that's
is a thing.
how Jake slowly gets into his body. But they use magic for that one.
Mhm.
But yeah. Also, by the way, the movie ends exactly where the last movie ends, with this exact same shot of him looking directly into the camera.
Oh yeah.
Motif. But yeah, I actually really like the villain back again. He's a very over the top like comic villain,
Yeah.
He do be.
but like he's honestly like he's very committed to his role, and I kind of vibe with it. They attempt to do something interesting with it, but I don't think it pays off at the end. But like we'll go back to that. A Spider is so he's like kind of his son, but not really his son, right? So this is what happens. He gets kidnapped by he gets kidnapped by the boss guy.
Yeah.
And then everyone's torturing him to find out the location of the blue people. This is before they move to the underwater
fish land.
world. And he's like, no, I'll never give them up. And then the guy goes, hey, I may not be your dad. However, what say you tell you and you don't like how about you just come with us and help us find him? And he's just like, yeah.
Okay, Dad.
He doesn't say, okay, Dad. They have no,
Okay.
by the way, they absolutely do not have any father bonding time in this entire movie. I just want to establish that. For this to, yeah.
Mhm.
So he goes off on their little quest, and he's kind of constantly going like, "Haha, you guys are dumb. I'm a real Navi person.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
speak their language. I can do all this shit." Fucking man is like literally the equivalent of a weeb in real life.
But he committed to it though. He did it from a very young age. He did this for a very long time. So he's now one of us.
I was born this way.
So yeah, he essentially just starts tracking down Jake Sully. There is literally no emotional conflict for him where he's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this."
Until they start killing
Until they
people.
start burning the village, and
Yeah.
then he's like, "Wait, I didn't know this was
Wait a
gonna happen."
minute.
Yes, you fucking
Yeah.
did. Yes, you absolutely fucking did.
Yeah.
It was already established. You know how bad these people are. They kidnapped you and the other children, held you guys hostage in a forest to try and kill Jake Sully. They tortured you. Like,
Like,
don't
yeah.
understand this man.
He's just
then
a kid.
But bear in mind, after he sees that, he still keeps helping them
Yes.
until the others come to, like, not really come to rescue him. They come to for the big final showdown, basically, to get the other kids back. They're like, "Oh, but also Spider's there, so let's just get him back, right?" And then he just switches to their side. But there also is no internal conflict for him. He just does it. He just goes over, and nobody goes, "You betrayed us and ratted us out to the bad guys." Nobody acknowledges that he was even away from them.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, was he even in the script, bro? Doesn't fit at all. And then you get the ending where, like, he goes and he's like, the only moment you get a slight hint of eternal struggle is where he's like, should I rescue my dad? But I don't think so. Fine, I'll do it. Even though there's no reason for him to, because A, it's not his dad. He knows that. The dad knows that. Even though I kind of understand a bit more why the dad would be like, "Oh yeah, don't shoot him at the end," because he still has the memories. But the fucking kid wouldn't care because, firstly, we established that he spent more time with the Avatar Navi people than he did with his dad. And secondly, this man literally ate his dad. This man tells the kid, "I'm not your dad," multiple times. And he doesn't even look like him. He's fucking blue. It's a blue argument, okay?
Blue
What the fuck?
deputy.
And then he rescues him, but he's like, grrr.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He rescues him, and then the dad's like, "All right, fine. You wanna come with me, son?" And he go, "Grr."
And like, why? I don't. To be honest, like, I don't really. There's nothing much. The dad's arc isn't really like, you could say his arc is like at the end. He's like, "Oh, my son," right?
Yeah.
And he chooses not to get him shot. But then he kind of, like, when his son goes grr, he's just like, "Oh, fucking, who cares?" Like, there's like nothing left for him to grow as a character. I don't really know if they're
Yeah,
gonna bring
so-
him back for the next movie,
Yeah,
or
like,
whatever.
why,
but-
why did they keep him alive? Are they just gonna bring him back? Be like, he does the same thing again?
Yeah, because there was no reason for the son to save him. There was no
Yeah.
arc for him in the movie, so that's not a payoff for anything.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to establish just very clearly, there is no father-son bonding time in this movie. There is, the son will show the troops how to do Navi shit.
Well,
Like
there's
how
a
to
bit
fly a
of it, I
dragon?
think, where they were on the dragon thing, and they were talking, they're bantering for a bit, early on, not early on, but middle.
Yeah, but it was like barely anything.
Yeah,
to,
but that was the only.
it
I
was just
guess
like,
all I could do to defend is be like, Spider is showing forgiveness for the enemy, and that's like, he's a good boy.
he's not a fucking good boy.
Forgiveness.
Also, like,
Eventually.
but
They kill.
why? That's not an
people die
arc.
anyways.
Because like
People were
at the
getting
start of the
killed.
movie, it wasn't like he wasn't showing
I
forgiveness
didn't
for the
watch the
enemy.
start of the film.
So that actually, yeah, that wouldn't make sense because that's not a payoff of anything.
It's
Because
just very
he didn't learn
confusing.
anything because there was nothing to learn. It was like, because the man has no fucking character. He's just culture. Maybe if he learns that, maybe if he comes to terms with the identity, that would have been
He's not
payoff
Navi.
because he's weird cultural appropriation guy at the start. If he maybe came to terms with his identity, That would have been something.
To
but
play
he didn't.
another defense, and look, these defenses obviously I'm stretching for them
Yeah.
to try and because I know it's also another trope of like, I'm not gonna become you, so I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna save you because I'm not
Well,
gonna
he's not
become.
killing
But he
I'm
was-
still like you.
There was never a conflict of him wanting, thinking that he was becoming his dad.
Mhm.
That's
Because he's also, like, when he's helping his dad track down Jake, it's not like he's doing anything evil. He's just being there.
Yeah,
I think the fact that he's helping
Oh.
track down Sully is a dick thing and like
Yeah.
complete betrayal. But also, like, he doesn't torture animals or like even talk shit. He just kind of walks around. So I thought, like, this is honestly how I predicted his arc would go. He gets captured. They rescue the rest of the kids, and they don't rescue him. And I thought the dad would be like, "See, they don't care about you. They didn't come and rescue you." He didn't. He was like, "Yo, you want to go and get the." It was the dumbest fucking scene. Like, yeah. Oh,
Truly
I
is.
forgot the entire time to address the variable refresh rate. I mean,
No, you may.
you did a little bit.
yeah. So just to say, like, it awkwardly cuts between 23 and 48 FPS, and I didn't really like it. I got used to it, but in my opinion, the entire film should just been 48. There was not really any point to doing 23 unless you were going to go like talking scenes 23, action sequence 48.
Is it that what they did?
No,
Oh, wait,
it was
no,
literally
yeah.
every cut was a different frame rate.
Yeah, just choose either one. Everything 23 or everything 48.
Yeah. Or just do Gemini Man, the Will Smith movie, and go 120 frames for some fucking reason.
Yeah, gaming.
Yeah. I kind of want to watch that movie in the frame rate just to see what it looks like. But
You
yeah.
like a video game,
Yeah.
presumably.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about let's talk more about the plot, I guess. It's pretty similar to the first movie. Instead of unobtainium, though, it's like they're looking for like long life juice.
Whale juice.
But actually, that's not really true because that only comes into play about 75% way through the film.
The main motivation for at least the main antagonist was still just finding Jake Sully. Yeah.
It was the motivation for the secondary antagonist, which is ones that get introduced. I think he probably got 20 minutes of screen time. Like,
Yeah.
man's like,
Legitimately.
I don't understand that a storyline because it takes like.
It's kind
Okay,
of
like,
used as a...
I'll actually try to break down the entire movie. Okay, the first arc you've got kind of like your introduction to the villain. You got your introduction to the new kids, and you're like, oh, there's a bit of conflict in the family because the kids really want to be like the dad. That was a. Do you feel like that was? Did that ever come up at the end? Did you feel that?
A whole second plot just to trigger the final showdown.
What? No, I'm talking about the kids.
Okay.
Because it establishes one of the conflicts of the film, which is Jake Sully's kids kind of want to be like him, but he's like, chill out, boys.
Yeah.
Well,
And it does come back a little bit with the ways they kind of be reckless, I guess.
I'm reckless.
I guess the ultimate payoff of that is the big brother fucking dies.
does that.
In all honesty, I don't know.
Well, you know the little brother trying to not be a fuck up. Different. Trying to be dead or the old. Trying to be like
It's
the
like
older brother.
he's
who's
trying
the
not to be a
perfect
fuck
older
up,
brother.
but he's trying to like. It's like okay, you get this big high sequence at the start with a train, right? But by the way, that was sort of the funny bits where everyone was like, "This looks like a cutscene" because the train flips and it just looks like a video game.
Cool. We didn't see that.
Yeah.
The train.
And like the kids
True.
rush into battle, and like the younger brother gets like shot or something.
Okay.
So then they're like, "Oh, don't do this," and then it's like, "Oh, they kind of want to be like their dad, but their dad's too hard on them." Blah blah blah. Because his dad is like the greatest war hero. He's the fucking leader of the tribe somehow. I don't really get the between what happened between the last movie and this movie that he became
Well, I
the
mean,
leader.
he
of the
married the daughter of the last.
I guess so, but I don't. I feel like people wouldn't accept that. I feel like people would be like, "This is
Demon blood,
bullshit," but I don't
demon
know.
blood. I don't know.
But
Maybe
I guess the
that's how-
person who should have actually been leader does end up being the leader when he switches place. I don't know, but I honestly don't remember which character that was. yeah, so you got like this establishes some conflicts here. Dude wants to, yeah.
Yes.
The actual like the stuff you get established, you get Kira wants to find out who her father is. Oh yeah, so like the fucking dialogue, I forgot to say as an example of the shit dialogue. They're hanging out looking at the mother and the like Kiri's mother in the coma, and then they're talking about like how their dad's hard on them, right? And then they're like, yeah, our big expectations because Jake Sully is our father. And then fucking Spider suddenly goes like all gloomy and goes, well, maybe it doesn't matter who your father is. And everyone goes, I'm sorry, Spider. Like, I'm not joking. They all go, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, this is the dialogue of this fucking movie.
That sounds funny.
It was, it was dumb. Anyway, yeah, his whole thing, I guess, is he's got daddy issues. But not enough. It's like surface level. Established he's got daddy issues, not go into it any further. It's just like say one moody line and that's it.
That's just the whole crux of
then
his supposed...
it amps up pretty quick. The entire forest gets like obliterated at the start, and then they're like, oh shit, people are after us. The kids get kidnapped, and then they're like, oh, we gotta leave. And they leave, they find the wave water people. So like the first arc kind of is up to them leaving, because they also have a bit of the conflict of should they leave, should they not leave, and they decide to leave. So let's just say that's the first episode of this. Second episode, they meet the family. You get a bit of them trying to fit in, understand things.
Yeah.
You get quite drawn out bullying subplot.
Yes.
Which was very tropey and
everything
unnecessary.
about that was drawn out with the bullying and the introduction into the water people ways.
Yeah. Like, even within that arc, it's two different arcs. You got the bullying, and then you've got, like, learning the ways of the water.
Yes.
Which I feel like learning the ways of the water is probably integral to them actually being able to do the end.
Yes.
Don't necessarily think meeting the whales and doing that whole thing was integral. Like, the ultimate payoff for the whales thing was the big whale jumping at the end and landing on the ship. Like, let's be honest, that is kind of the big payoff. And the fucking whaling thing, which was really dumb. Like, it was very, like, out of nowhere.
I suppose as soon as we meet the whale, then they
you know how
the
they destroy the forest at the start, which implies that they're still going for unobtainium, right? In the forest. They're like, oh, coincidentally, we've also found this long life juice in the whales, so we're gonna whale these things.
How would they find
By the way, bear in mind,
like,
the whaling thing wasn't important. They used the whaling vessels because they need a way to find Jake.
Yeah.
So, like, the actual whaling thing doesn't matter. It is just like extra context, essentially. But they treat it like a plot point.
Well, they're kind of like, the other reasoning was, if we kill the whale, we can throw out the fish people. They don't like it. Kill the whales.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that was the thing. But then they also had to make it about, they specifically make it about whaling by going, oh,
yes.
Don't you take the, what is blubber, but it's the fucking thing. And they're like, oh, and then you throw the thing away. Isn't that, like, bad? Blah, blah, blah. They really, like, hammer it home. You spend a lot of time with this kid bonding with the whale, which is important, I guess, literally to the one payoff of the big whale jumping onto the boat. However, I know I'm going to sound a bit harsh. I didn't really care about the whale.
Typical Japanese.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
which everyone was like, obviously that was the, like, emotional stuff. I gotta admit, it was sad seeing, like, but it was cheap emotional stuff. It's like, obviously, if you show a mother's calf dead in the water, that's pretty emotional.
Sad.
It's pretty sad, but I don't feel like it's earned at all.
Well, they kind of go all the way with the scene, though.
They go, they go full on, and it's just like, I get it, but, like, to be honest, the only thing I care about is the conflict with the characters, with the villains,
and the fish
stuff like that. This fish stuff is just too drawn out and weird.
It do be.
You got like a bunch of just you got this arc of them learning the way of the water, blah blah blah. You have a separate arc of the daughter of Kiri finding out she might have some weird connection to the god.
Yeah, funny power.
Yeah.
Do be wailing. Oh, they did also mention like, the brain juice. It basically funds everything else.
Yeah, because it's 80 million per thing, which is not a lot of money for what it is, I reckon.
But apparently is to them.
Because I feel like $80 million for something that will stop your aging is like not a lot of money. They could be charging like.
I wouldn't
They
pay
could be
for it at
charged.
all. I wouldn't
Well,
even get it for
Yeah,
free.
no, but like think about.
Rich
I know,
people
but
got
I'm just
their
saying for
limits
myself.
as well.
Yeah, I feel like rich people would pay more.
Rich people
for that.
would pay more for that.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't want it.
yeah, but it's kind of funny. I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whales are smarter than. That's another thing.
Yeah, they make
point
that
out.
a very point. They compose music. They do math.
Yet they
Why
keep
don't they
dying
invent guns,
out of-
bro?
Yeah, exactly.
How would they operate the gun?
They
using,
strap it
things.
to. I don't know.
They put missile launchers.
How
Yes.
do they build the gun?
Because they with the aquatic people because they're best friends.
But they're not.
They give
I
them
forget-
this because they can literally talk to them. They
I
give them
forget
the
thing
schematics
about
and they
the mythology
craft the thing.
behind the world, where it's like, oh, you're not supposed to use the metal and obtainium to create weapons. You're not supposed to have technological advance.
This kind of thing, though, because
Kind of.
the people of
No,
the planet, they kind of.
I think that was a little bit of the conflict of the first movie, technology versus nature, but ultimately they decide to go with technology because you see at the start of the movie, all the avatars have guns and they use them in battle.
That's because Jake Sully.
Yeah, he
It's
brings
Jake's
the
fault.
technology and shit.
Right.
Um,
What do I know, people?
I think it's
The fish people still
with
use speed.
the world building, it's pretty cool that like because you got the forest people that link up essentially with the forest animals. The
Yeah.
trees have a huge connection to the trees, and then you got the water people have a huge connection to the water. And they're not the same, but they're similar in the ways of
They're
things,
so
but they're not
connected
the
with
same,
their
which is
vibe.
kind of cool. Yeah. The last act I think was really cool because it's just a really big action sequence, and the
Yeah,
action in this movie looks phenomenal.
Epic.
The Jake versus the villain was pretty satisfying, but then it had to be fucked up by Spider saving the dad for no reason.
Yes.
For
I just wanted to
Throughout
die.
the film,
Yeah.
my Spider just had daddy issues.
And
All
I feel
throughout.
like the dad, like I get his arc was meant to end up in the place of him being like, oh, it's the kid. But he doesn't really show much empathy towards the child throughout the movie. So I'm like, I don't really buy it. I get that from like
Who
a
would?
plot point perspective, they need to get there, but they didn't. I don't know. I don't think they earned it that well.
They didn't show the journey.
Yeah.
Journey. with the
So that's what I
friends.
mean. Like the writing of this movie, to be honest, I think is worse than the first movie. However, I was way more attached to the characters in this movie. That's why, I found the ending very sad. Like when the son dies and stuff, that was pretty tragic. And then when they go into like the Mind Palace and see him playing in the river, I was like, "This, I'm crying now." Yeah, but yeah,
True.
but yeah. Though, like, I feel like this movie, the second act is a lot more entertaining than like the entirety of the first movie because it's like
Mm.
you get the great visuals, you get the great action sequences, and it feels pretty emotionally driven at the end. Yeah, I did like all the new creatures and
Yes.
stuff.
Mhm.
They're all really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't like hate the whales. I like I don't like their purpose in the
Yes.
grand narrative, but they themselves are pretty cool.
The way.
Also, in all honesty, I don't think. Now that I think about it, I guess they needed a way for the son to have a personal whale for the big, so it could jump onto the ship ultimately.
Yeah.
And show that the son is not completely a fuck up. Because everyone doubted him, but he
Yeah.
did the whale thing right. But I don't know, the whale being the outcast, blah blah blah, and having its own kind of arc it needed to be solved. I'm like, that seems
It's a
unnecessary.
mirror
bro.
image of the the little brother being
Yeah.
cast. They
Yeah,
are together.
they are together, but like, yeah, I just like, bro, like I get you love the whales, but like, man,
He's
too
still
much.
talking about eating whale.
For the Japanese.
Damn, dude, I'm sorry. Maybe I just didn't like the story that much because I'm Japanese. Do you guys have any more stuff you want to add?
I think a lot of it was addressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, you've covered all the bloat.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have we been recording?
We're an hour and 10. Well,
We have been talking. Never mind about needing a long discussion. We are. Most of this
Still
episode has
less
just
than
been this
half
one
of
review.
the length of an Avatar Way of the Water.
Fucking hell.
Let's say, yeah. Most of the issues have been addressed.
So shall we give our final verdict?
Yeah, let's address
Think
that.
so?
All right. Final
Radio.
video.
Yeah.
Final verdicts, ladies and gents, and everyone else in between. Avatar. The Way of the Water. Very cool movie. A lot of cool visuals. And looks pretty good. I enjoyed it. You may too, but it's a very long one. And there's a lot of things going on that may not be of much importance. But yet, it is still worth watching, maybe, if you watching good quality.
That's very confident.
Yes.
Hey, that's
So-
what we're here for.
I'll give it a 7, yeah? 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
7 out of 10. I don't know. It was fun. Yeah, it was bloated. But am I the type of person to feel the bloat? Nah.
Feel the blood.
Hey.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. My score on this one, because I actually really do recommend you guys see this movie because it deserves to be seen. The care and attention they put into making this movie, and it is a visual spectacle. And I like this more than the last one, kind of purely because A, the visuals, and B, it's way more emotionally investing.
Mm.
However, I think the story isn't as good as the first one. Bear in mind, the first one's story isn't very good. But
Yeah.
at least it's kind of concise and streamlined. This is all over the place. If I said earlier that the first Avatar is about a 6, and I think, even though I think these are about of equal quality, I think I still enjoyed this one more. So I'm actually going to go a 7.5 on this one.
Right, yeah.
Which, even though I
enough.
ranted about it more than you, I feel like I probably still did like it more than you did.
Yeah.
Because I did like, I've got to watch it a second time. So like, I did obviously enjoy it. But like, I did have pretty glaring.
Fair enough. Comes to an
That's a
average
good
score of
score.
7.5 for the Unholy Trinity for Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
There you go, folks. Tell us what you think later on.
It's been a long review.
But
Fitting
I mean,
for a
it's
film
the
of this
only
length.
thing we're reviewing this week, so like that's fine.
It's good.
Yep.
But
Yep.
all right, we'll give our thoughts on some TV shows we watched.
Yeah.
I wanted to say I watched a couple episodes of season 3 of Harley Quinn.
Ah, yes.
I think the status quo of the show is a little bit strange because we have one of the cast isn't in this season. At least I think so.
Harley.
No, this is called Dr. Psycho. And additionally, watching the second episode, they just introduced Nightwing, just like introduced it
Yeah.
like he was already there the entire time. It was a very weird thing. But it's still pretty funny and way above the average DC show. Also, Ivy and Harley Quinn are dating in season 3. So, very hype.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Why did I point to you like you're going to have an opinion on this show? You haven't seen it.
Yes, Harley Quinn.
Sorry, do you want to say...
Nothing.
Nothing.
You wanted to
Just-
say something about Chainsaw Man?
Alright, Chainsaw Man.
Is your voice like a chainsaw now?
Just a bit of build up.
Yeah.
If I can be a chainsaw. I just caught up to the latest episode. Episode 10. I think. Episode 10. Yes. Have you caught up?
No.
No.
I gotta
Well,
watch.
this episode we get introduced to a new mental character for the crew to train
Well, I
with,
thought the crew's dead, bro.
because the crew, the main guy, the Denji and Power survive.
Oh, yeah, spoilers,
They're
bro.
fun like that. Wait, you think they're gonna die and that show ends?
Yeah, bro. Doesn't mean the show ends. They can continue with other characters.
It's literally called
And that will be
Chainsaw Man.
shit.
Miss Denji's gonna be there.
Denji.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Good.
But so there's a big tragedy and all, and they have to recover from it.
What a
Like
tragedy.
a good shonen arc.
So sad.
The training arc. Yeah, it was
Look this right
cool.
now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's how it is.
Slay.
I don't mean to take the. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
It's on you.
I will.
Oh, that's your phone.
I
Where's
deserve
my?
it.
Okay.
Sitting
Alright,
on it.
I'm gonna go through the weekly news update. The
Yo.
weekly shots, some would say.
Mm.
Chat.
Should we? I feel like we can play the weekly shots theme at this point during the pod, or
Yeah,
even just like a slide
Yeah.
motif to
if
it.
the editor chooses to, he may.
I'll bring it back.
Yeah.
We have a few things. Firstly, Adia and I went to DPR this week. Dream Perfect
Whoosh.
Regime concert.
Dream is
In
out
Melbourne.
there. You
What do we think?
know? They're cool.
They were pretty
Yeah.
cool, but we couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything.
Because three
'cause
fucking tall cunts in front of us, and I was like, yeah.
for real.
The
DPR
actual, like,
fans.
what the fuck? Like, okay, there was this lady in front of me, and she turned around and noticed that we were shorter, and it was like, oh, sorry, I'll just move to the side a bit. How fucking hard is that?
Well, they're not as sensitive
Yeah,
as
fucking.
that lady.
Because, bro, he turned around.
Just didn't care, bro.
Yeah.
And what's funny is just
Also,
So
so
you
many people get
consider-
pushing in front of us.
yeah.
There were just new people appearing in front of me. I'm like, bitch, I was waiting for 4 hours in line. You weren't. You fucking weren't. You just showed up when the doors opened.
Yet you didn't yell at
I wasn't gonna yell at them.
Could ask them politely. Well, also this.
No, because I generally don't know how they got there, bro.
They just showed up.
But yeah, they just
I
go.
just find it funny. This tall cunt in front of you turn around like you. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're spinning around and
Moving
I
back.
don't know, that for me is just funny.
But yeah, it's
The
just
DPR
funny.
thing,
Three
you're happy and you know
consecutive
it?
tall guys in front of us in a row. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
yes.
If you're
Sure.
happy and
Like
you know
that
it,
generally
clap
ruined
your
my
ass.
experience.
And,
Though,
and when they pull up their phones, they just get taller. Cause
yeah, bro.
Shit.
They're like, oh, I need to. You can see perfectly. The reason we're on our phones is because that's the only way we can see the fucking concert.
Oh,
Yeah.
they still need to look down on DPR,
My
even though he's
God.
there on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, and we're like relatively. We're not too far from the stage. We're like
Yeah.
7th row standing.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Fun.
Anything.
Oh, and someone in the crowd recognized me from American Arm concert.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think they were behind it.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't see either.
I didn't recognize
Hilarious.
him, though. They recognized me. Yeah.
Did you guys have fun
Really
though?
popular.
No. I'd be kind of.
No, so
It's
I got
kind
to-
of like it was a good vibe, like to the
Good
music, but
vibes.
like yeah, I was just like, bro, I spent $100 on this. You did too.
90 though.
90 or 100, I can't remember. Like, but same, like around that range.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro.
Yeah, bro.
At least we get to funny thing, the guy, was it Ian? He was like, oh, so good to be in New
No,
Zealand.
that was DPL live.
So, oh, it's live. Oh, so good to be in New Zealand. Then everyone just went silent.
It was pretty fucking funny.
He was like, oh, New
And
Zealand?
because it's also funny because DPR Ian is Sydney, the other guy.
You good, bro?
But yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, that was
They
also
just
the
go back to,
fucking.
oh, Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Melbourne.
bit of. All the Melbourne fans are devastated.
Yes.
Also, all the fucking merch was sold out before
Yeah.
the show started. It's fucking insane.
And when did you get there? How
I
many
got
hours
there 4
before?
hours before, but I didn't get early entry because we didn't pay extra.
Well, we
Which
could
I
have checked when
fucking
we
should
went
have. I
in.
should have paid for early entry,
How
like
much?
because it's
How
not
many
very
early
expensive.
entry tickets are there?
Not
For
a
it to
lot,
sell out.
but because we're towards the end of the leg of the tour, because we're Australia,
Oh,
because we're
right.
like they
Yeah,
do. I think
okay.
they're doing Australia, then doing. So yeah, they're doing.
New
They're
Zealand.
into New Zealand.
yeah.
They're doing Australia, then I think they're going to South Korea and then ending the tour or something.
Nah,
Hmm.
I don't know if they're coming to. I think they already did Indo, right?
maybe.
Or they might be coming back. Or am I
Is it
thinking
just a
of
bad
Eric now?
merch system? Because like Eric now last time they just
This happened at Tyler, the creator, to me, bro. The only merch I got was his hat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because they don't have enough stock, or is it because they put it early so it's gone? Not if you put it a bit at the end.
Well, I mean, early access always
always
is
get it?
pretty predominantly if you want to get merch
Right.
before other people. But it usually isn't a big deal because they should usually have enough stock. It's kind of dumb because you can look at the ticket numbers and make a pretty decent assumption. Obviously, not like one of each item, like for one of each person, but you
Maybe
could
like
probably
80%.
go like double or triple, assume
Right.
that would probably be enough. Yeah. Or just people really wanted their fucking. The merch wasn't very good, but like I kind of wanted it just because I like having stuff from things I've been to and a bit like, oh, this reminds you of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, this isn't news, but like it was a thing that we wanted to talk about a little bit.
Hmm.
But in terms of actual news, we have some Henry Cavill news. So James Gunn decided to fucking not hire Henry Cavill for Superman, despite 2 months earlier DC being like, Henry Cavill, please announce that you're back as Superman, and he did this. So what the fuck, DC? Stop playing with this fucking man, alright? He had the longest fucking hiatus from Superman, and then you're treating him like shit this whole time. And suddenly you're like, oh, okay, you can come back. Then he has to kind of low-key quit the Witcher show because he's not going to have time because he's going to be a busy man with a DC schedule. And what's this? Fucking fired, essentially. Like, I don't know, fucking dickhead. James Gunn, shame on you. Peter Safran, shame on you.
Because James Gunn got God's plan for the DC world.
Kim, he ain't God. Dude, directors are just going too far.
That goes into our
That's
next
going to be our
discussion.
discussion topic, apparently, yeah. But we do have some bright news. Henry Cavill is leading, as well as starring in, a Warhammer cinematic universe, which I
Sure.
feel I have I don't really care because I don't care about Warhammer,
Neither
but
do
I feel like maybe if you, the audience, care, I feel like you're in pretty good hands because this guy actually plays. Man is a full-on gamer.
He's a
so,
gamer.
like,
Gamer.
I feel like
He knows what's
he
up.
actually
Damn.
knows what's up.
Yeah.
Like he's
That's
already
exciting.
a talented actor. He knows a lot about the movie industry. And I feel like he also, it's a good combination. Like he is your man for this sort of shit.
The man
Fuck
for
yeah.
the job.
Let's
Speaking
go.
of men for the, oh wait, hold on.
Speaking of men.
part of the same story. So James Gunn has announced what his plans for Superman are, and essentially he's pretty much rebooting the character with a young Superman film. And pretty much everyone's like, why the fuck do we need another origin Superman movie?
Because it's my origin Superman movie.
Yeah. Also, this bitch said he's been working on this movie for writing the movie for a long time. That means they fucking knew that they were going to have to kick Henry Cavill out, despite literally asking him to come back. They would have already known by that point. Because if this is still being written,
Unless it's James Gunn's personal writing from whenever the fuck.
but he said he has no plans to do anything with Superman. Literally, when the Suicide Squad came out, he was like, "Oh, was it Peacemaker?" He was like, "Oh, those big heroes that interest me because I like to do stuff." With
Maybe he's lying. I don't know.
Yeah, that
Okay.
bitch is fucking. What a
Yeah.
cunt, bro. I'll say, I'm pretty sure he wrote Brightburn, so isn't it just going to be fucking
Did
Brightburn?
he? Oh my god, what?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Little fun fact
Brightburn,
there.
Superman. What is Brightburn again?
Because James Wan's actually not James.
Gunn.
Oh, all these James people. James Gunn is kind
Thomas
of known for
Gunn.
horror, back
Yeah,
before he did superheroes. So like,
Right.
that's kind of the perfect combination.
Hmm.
But yeah, apparently going to take place during his early days as a reporter, but he's already Superman.
Okay.
But it's still like stuff we've seen before. So I don't know.
So they're
Right.
kind of pulling off a Spider-Man. What's the first?
Homecoming.
Yeah.
That's the sort of vibe I got to. Anyway, moving on from that. Apparently, this is a surprising DC news. Ben Affleck. He might be directing a DC movie, which is interesting because he was meant to be directing the Batman movie initially, right? Before all of that shit happened, said he essentially got kicked out, but he might be back. He kind of is back, but he's probably going to get out again if James Gunn is really rebuilt the universe. Also, this basically means that all of the rumors that we talked about last week are pretty much true. Like all of the Wonder Woman getting sacked, Aquaman getting, like all of this stuff is probably true.
Oh, I saw it. This is like from a dumb source, just like I randomly saw it on the internet because the internet is dumb. Scarlett Johansson being the next Wonder Woman.
I don't know. That's
It's
not
dumb.
that wouldn't be
It's dumb.
confirmed. Yeah. That wouldn't be real.
I know it's not
But
real,
what
but it's just
if?
dumb to think about.
Yeah. Like Gal Gadot, like I don't think she's amazing, but I think she's fine as Wonder Woman. Like, yeah.
Oh, who knows, man?
Like, to be
What
honest,
is the
I don't
Stranger
have a
Things?
super strong feeling on like the DC actors cast. I do like Ben Affleck as Batman, and Henry Cavill as Superman is pretty good. And I just like he's just so dedicated to the character that I'm like, yeah, okay, I want him to be Superman. Don't really care about any of the other like main Justice League people, to be honest. Jason Momoa was fine, and Gal Gadot were fine. Like I don't really care. Same as Cyborg, I don't care that much. But I understand people have more feelings about this than I probably do.
Yes.
But I am pissed about the Henry Cavill thing because of its effects on Henry Cavill. Not really what it means for us, but like, yeah. Anyway, let's talk a bit Marvel. We got a teaser for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah,
Yes, we do.
What do we think, boys?
exciting.
Exciting?
Wow.
Multiverse. What?
Fine,
Lots of
do you
Spider-Mans.
spot any people you knew in the...
There's 2099.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there's Miles and there's Gwen, and is it still B Parker?
Probably, I
Yeah.
assume it is. You got PS5 Spider-Man?
Oh,
PS5 real.
yes.
Yo.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to
Tom
much.
Holland Spider-Man.
Oh.
It was still animated, but like,
Right.
the same suit.
See,
I
the
think you're
thing with
put-
me is I don't know much of the Spider-Man because I don't look at the comics. That's
Yeah.
I don't look at the comics at all. I just know from New Rockstars.
You also had lots of deep cuts, like you had Spider-Cop.
Aye.
You had a six-legged Spider-Man.
Which is not a spider. Oh, 2 arms would make it a
Yeah.
6 legs and 2 arms would make it a spider.
Oh, I
6
mean,
legs
like-
of itself isn't a spider.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah.
Is Venom in it?
Get bit by the venom.
I mean, I feel
Venom's
like probably
Spider-Man.
not because Venom's not
Damn, I just want Venom.
Remember
back.
the-
Spider-Man.
When we did the Venom reviews, and then you and me would try to do the Venom voice.
Oh, I remember that.
Venom.
I don't even remember how to do the Venom voice.
Yeah, no, man.
What's the name of the guy? What's the
Tom Hardy.
yeah? And then who's the character he plays?
Oh, Eddie Brock.
Eddie.
Let's go to rave, Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah, Venom's canon to the MCU now, right?
Yes.
Supposedly.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want them to do something funny with Venom, but I don't know if they're gonna do it.
Well, they're doing Venom 3, right?
Yeah.
We'll probably see it in theaters, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but actual movie I'm hyped for. We got the Barbie teaser.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, doesn't that look good?
It looks interesting.
They
It's gonna be it's either gonna be really good or real cringe.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
I'm leaning towards really good because of the track record of the writers.
Mm.
It's
Well, I'm hoping it's gonna be
good. It's a couple.
Yeah.
The director's name is Greta something, right?
Yeah,
Greta
but,
Thunberg.
She's the writer and director, and she did Lady Bird and Pretty Women.
Mm.
I only watched Lady Bird and I thought it was all right, but the other guy, Noah something, he did Marriage Story, which is one of my favorite films of all time. So I'm looking forward to Ken yelling out Barbie every day I wake up and I wish you were dead.
Real.
Yeah. The visuals looked really nice. There was the start of it was an homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is another thing. I'm like, do you think this movie's for kids?
I think
Because that is, I 100% don't think that joke is for kids because what kids are
But
going to
like,
understand the 2001: A Space
I think they'll try to make it so that kids can still watch. But like,
is Barbie even current
to
kid thing?
understand it, kids
It's
know
still
what
around,
Barbie
but
is.
like, no, I do not think it is as prevalent
Don't
as
they
it
know
used
what Barbies are?
No, because like,
They know what they
know
are,
what
but-
they are, but like, I don't think it's that prominent.
It wasn't
because,
what
like,
it used to be with the kids.
Nowadays, people are
TikTok.
They
that,
play
but
with
also
their
like the
iPad.
landscape around toys and like gender roles around toys and stuff has changed.
Yeah.
So I feel like Barbie is less
Barbies are
pushed.
still on shelves.
They
Yeah.
are, but I
And-
don't think they're anywhere near as popular as they were
Lego
before.
Barbie. Sorry, I realized I cut you off.
What was I saying?
Okay.
Like I reckon Lego is way more popular than Barbie now.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
'cause
actually,
you're
you
a
could
Lego
definitely,
boy.
you could, yeah. I think Lego would definitely be more.
Maybe I haven't.
Bigger now.
We've
We've got
study
three
on
Lego
this, on
movies
the
that have
buying trends of children's
a
toys,
smash
so
box office sales. So I'd
Mm.
Lego
assume.
movie. How about if Barbie movie boosts Barbie?
I feel like it.
Merch.
It's because I'm like, if it's a kids movie, then yes, it 100% would. If it's not a kids movie, then I don't think it would.
I don't think it's gonna be a kids
Unless adults
movie.
would be buying Barbie. I don't think this is going to be a kids movie.
It's.
It doesn't
I
make
just
sense.
realized as well the trailer and a lot of things around it is designed to look retro and nostalgic.
Yeah.
So it's for
Well, it's also designed
yes.
not to fit into a specific period of time. Because
Yeah,
they just had a fucking 2001: A Space Odyssey reference.
Fair enough.
supposed to be
reason.
Barbie world.
Yeah.
You know the Barbie.
I love the production design and stuff. Everything looks really cool. I
Mm.
love Simuliu in the trailer. Very, very cute.
Yes.
That's my
I
boy.
think they'll make it accessible to kids, but it won't be catered to kids.
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe.
Yeah.
Or they
Camera.
go all the way and it's like an
Yeah,
R-rated
they-
movie.
Yeah, if they go R, then.
I feel like there's 100% a possibility it's going to be rated R. But like,
But Mattel wouldn't like that, would they? The actual
firstly,
Lego?
it's not Mattel. I'm pretty sure.
No,
Like,
it's
they
still
own
Barbie by
Barbie.
Mattel.
as a
Oh wait, yeah.
IP, not IP as a product.
True.
They were like, don't put Barbie in. R.
Because okay, is this like a Barbie like
It's not
license?
sponsored by them, but they licensed Barbie.
Well, they'd have to.
Yeah, I think they won't be allowed to do an R.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the thing. That
I feel like it'd be interesting to like look at the animated Barbie movies and see what company made those. Because this one's Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
If it's the same one, then probably it would be a kids one. If it's not, then like I feel like it has to. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You know,
is that Sony or something? I've the other trailers you watch it Sony. Paramount.
no, that was Warner Brothers.
Bitch.
All right, you know what? Is it a Sony thing there?
Your mum.
Actually, it might. I don't
Yeah,
know if
mother.
this is actually a good transition. But a Scream 6 teaser
Mm-hmm.
look good.
Yeah.
Looks like you want to watch the films that come before it.
I suppose to understand what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teaser was just people on a bus.
great.
Yeah.
Because the big thing is they're in New York now.
Oh, Bing Bong.
Yeah,
Bing Bong.
that looks pretty cool. And they had a bunch of different ghost face.
Yeah.
Those same ghost.
Unfortunately, I just know the face. That's it. Interesting.
Yeah. In other news, I feel like people are finally starting to be listening to this podcast because the Library of Congress National Film Registry put Iron Man in its
in its
library,
rightful threat.
which we said was the best MCU movie according to our
The first and
combined
the,
ranking. So,
We did it. Our first American audience.
the
actually, we've had American
oh,
audiences.
I know.
Yeah,
Our first notable Americans.
yeah.
Not to say that no one else out there is not notable.
Nah, they're all not notable.
But someone out there agrees with us, and that's what counts.
Someone in Congress.
Yes.
that's
Next thing you know, we're going to become politicians. No, we're
Yeah.
not.
We got a God of War TV show coming
Mhm.
out
Yo.
on Amazon. I feel like it's very weird with the way Sony is licensing shows to different studios, I guess.
Mm.
Because Sony themselves are a movie company. Like they have an actual
they're too busy
Sony Pictures
making
is like an actual
Venom
studio.
3 to deal with.
So they
God of
could
War.
fund their own films, but I guess.
I'm excited that Cory Barlog is going to be producing it, though. Cory Barlog directed the first game, or sorry, the first game of the reboot of the new sequels
I guess.
franchise. But he directed the first film and the first game, and that was spectacular.
Uh,
So I'm excited to see what he does as a producer. Well, yeah.
It's basically just like
How did I say
he'll
only
be able to
what he
look
can
over
contribute?
thing.
Directing
Only
the
what he
has-
can
director.
contribute
he has-
as his experience.
He has like all the say in it, but absolutely like nothing. He's not doing anything, if that makes sense. He has
Saying if
complete
this is
authoritative
shit or
charge, I'd
not.
say.
Director.
But the director would be the one in charge of
Yeah.
producing, like making the movie. And yeah,
At least it's nice to know that there's at least someone who actually has, well, not just knows, but has created a part of the franchise
Yeah.
in the team.
I
That's good.
personally don't see the need. Well, the same thing I said with The Last of Us. To be honest, don't see the need of a TV
No.
show.
It's for people who don't want to play the game.
Even less than The Last of Us, to be honest, because like I feel like if they're doing it like from the rebooted, like soft rebooted franchise, like the current one, like it's the whole appeal of it. I feel is that it looks like a movie in the way
Yeah.
that it's one shot and all that shit. It's like, bro, why do you need a TV series? It's just gonna look worse, to be honest. Whereas The Last of Us,
Yeah.
even though I don't see the need of it, I'm kind of excited for the show now after like seeing footage and shit. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Some other Sony news: Spider-Man 2 is releasing in fall 2023 for
Spider-Man 2.
PS5.
Spider-
Well, I'm excited. I will probably pre-order. Don't fuck this up for me because every time I pre-order something, it goes to shit. Except for COD.
Mhm.
Actually, no. My pre-order for COD was actually shit because it was the whole disc
Mhm.
thing. But like, yeah, I also pre-ordered Cyberpunk. And that
Put
was
Venom.
That is actually probably what it's
other Sony film stuff. Death Stranding is getting a film, but that's going to be made by Kojima Productions.
It's gonna be a Stranding type film.
I'm going to be honest, don't foresee the need for a film because the game is pretty much a movie with its long ass
But
cutscenes and shit.
Kojima always wanted to movie man.
Yeah,
so
I feel like just do a different IP though. Like in all honesty, you don't
Make a
need to do
new
Death
movie.
Stranding. Just make a new movie.
maybe on the Stranding.
I'll give you my money,
Maybe
bro.
it's a side story.
Yeah. Maybe, who knows?
Kojima, big man.
Who the fuck knows?
In some Pokemon news,
Oh.
in the canon of the anime, Ash and Pikachu will be finishing up.
Hmm.
He'll
They're
die.
going to do an 11 episode arc concluding their story before going on to new
Ash
protagonists.
is tired.
That's what I read in the notes. Ash is retiring.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Good on him.
Damn.
Long enough. Has he won?
I think he recently did.
That's a good time to
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
Ashley.
Speaking of Ash, though, nuclear explosion. Sorry,
Yeah.
the explosion was on another line.
Oh,
so I
that's
read
fine.
nuclear explosion. Christopher Nolan recreated the Trinity nuclear explosion.
House.
Trinity. No, it was for the film Oppenheimer, and he didn't use CGI. He did it for real.
So
Man
an,
is
an actual nuke,
an
Nuclear.
explosion.
an explosion.
It was like a small one, but like,
Okay.
yes.
Miniature.
Man be creating atomic weapon.
Well,
Like
or
he-
just using defunct American ones.
Yeah, but like,
But
Still though, he's using
huh,
a weapon.
interesting.
Funny.
who's hyped for Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
I mean, it must look good if it's real.
Yeah, and I reckon I'll see it probably in IMAX. This film.
Have directors done too.
That's what we'll get to that. We also got a trailer for the film 65 starring Adam Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Dinosaurs. Few people in the future go back in time. Dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park, but in reverse.
This feels like a cliche film.
Yeah, and I'm kind of burnt out on dinosaurs after the shit Jurassic Park movies, bro. I mean Jurassic World.
But it's Adam Driver in a spaceship.
Man, I want to see Adam Driver in real life. See him.
Okay, buddy.
Anyway, we also have some AI news. Apparently, that's your
Well, it's
thing.
not just isn't. I mean, AI has been ongoing.
Not new.
I just thought it was funny to jump on the bandwagon.
So we've had. Can we read it out?
So
Yes.
you can bring it up on your laptop.
We'll
So-
each do our parts. Yeah.
Can you explain what you did with the AI?
Oh, so ChatGPT with by OpenAI. If you haven't seen it already, you've been living under a rock. But
Under the
AI is
Rock,
getting
Dwayne Johnson,
yes,
bombing
yes,
at the box office.
yes,
Yeah.
AI is getting powerful. Here's the
Yes.
prompt I gave it. Write a script in the format of the film and TV reviews and discussion podcast, The Unholy Trinity, featuring Patronus Gold, Zephyros, and SCL, where they discuss the new release, Avatar: The Way of Water. After, an hour and 10 minutes worth of reviewing Avatar, I feel like you don't, the last thing you guys need is another Avatar review.
But here we go.
But nonetheless,
The Avatar
Alright,
review.
my chair just broke on.
We'll read it like we're role playing.
Yes.
Welcome to the Unholy Trinity, the podcast where we review and discuss the latest films and TV shows. I'm Patronus Gold.
And I'm Zephyros.
And I'm SEL.
Today we're talking about the highly anticipated sequel, Avatar: The Way of the Water.
I was really excited to see this one. The first Avatar movie was one of my all-time favorites, and I had really high hopes for the sequel.
Yeah, me too. And I have to say, I was really impressed. The special effects were top notch, and the plot was engaging, full of twists and turns.
Definitely. And the world building was just as immersive as the first movie. I felt like I was right there with the characters on Pandora.
And the
Really?
characters were also really well developed, and the acting was superb. I was really invested in their story.
Yeah, and the themes of environmentalism and cultural preservation were woven seamlessly into the plot. For real, it was a great reminder of the importance of taking care of our planet and respecting different cultures.
Overall, Avatar: The Way of Water was a fantastic addition to the Avatar franchise. If you're a fan of the first movie or just love epic sci-fi adventures, you
Epic.
definitely don't want to miss this one. Outro music plays. That's all for this episode of the Unholy Trinity. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time with another review and discussion.
Bye.
Wow, it's almost like James Cameron paid this AI to say very nice things
Yeah.
about his movie.
That was, to be honest, pretty terrible. Like, I think it just took it from random reviews because that's not how we structure ours. So it actually doesn't.
Yeah, it was. It's
Yeah.
No,
try
so
to look for a
basically,
podcast structure, right?
it
Yeah.
gets fed a lot of data to
Uh-huh.
train it, but it wouldn't be taking
It
the
didn't look at our
auto-generated
podcast,
captions from our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
so it wouldn't.
But
Yeah.
also, it wouldn't include our podcast.
Yeah.
But
see, we can't be replaced by AI.
Yeah, that's
we
what
can't be
yeah,
replaced by
yeah.
AI. Maybe.
Irreplaceable.
Not
maybe.
yet, at least,
Not yet,
until
at least.
someone.
I wanted to
does.
try and help get the AI to help me write a script, but that's
See, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
That's a whole other rabbit hole that
Is
we don't
it
want to go down.
plagiarism if you copy from an AI.
That's low key. Well, it depends on what it is.
If the AI is
that's
fed,
the actual
That's
thing
the whole
that's going
controversy
around,
going around, yeah.
especially with the AI art thing.
Yeah.
yes,
That's because that is kind of plagiarism
yeah, because the AI is being fed art made by other people, so like
to spit out art
made by itself.
by itself.
but
on a
in their
technicality,
styles and
in the
taking
styles
their
of it.
ideas.
Yeah.
That's the ethical challenges we have currently.
Yeah. By the way, do we feel that the artists are justified in their outrage at this?
Feel it's just,
Because I also feel it's
Yeah.
justified. Yeah.
there you go, folks.
There we go.
Be careful with your AI.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Is it discussion time? We got 1 hour 40 minutes, so that's
maybe we don't need to
basically
do
an
a
episode.
discussion.
Yeah, we don't need.
Exactly. This episode has gone on for long enough, and it's bloated. And I'll tell you that
Just
much.
like something else.
Well, we've hinted on it so much today, though.
A second to our film, what?
We've hinted on it a fair
True.
bit.
We were going to just do a little bit of discussion of a director's taking it too far, but honestly, we could probably just do it for next week.
Yeah.
Or even, I mean, what do we have on the agenda for next week? And do we need a discussion? Or we'll just write this, leave this one in the books.
We'll just, we'll leave this one.
We'll just
This
wrap it
we
up
didn't
with
think-
our awards.
Yeah. So,
Just to finish off that note for this episode, readers, if you're listening to this, we might forget to do it, but you might get a discussion after have directors been taking it too far. Send us in your mail time with your response.
say your take so that we can respond to them in mail time.
free.unholy.things@gmail.com.
Or DM us on Instagram at unholy.pod.
Or reply to this episode on Spotify.
Or Apple Podcasts and leave 5-star review.
Yeah. That wasn't actually scripted though. It was just like we all said one thing of how to do something. It wasn't scripted. Yeah.
That works.
Funny.
Hey.
And so just quick thing about the Woo Awards. They're like our annual, I'd say award ceremony, but like this year it's a bit looser than that. We're doing something a little bit different.
Freestyle awards.
It was like our mock Oscars. That was like the initial pitch, I think.
That's how we pitched it.
Yeah.
In the intro of the video, it was like, welcome to our little mock Oscars show. And the polls we used to write, and we wrote the polls like, this is our little mock Oscars show.
Yeah.
We're changing the direction of that.
Yeah. We felt like it was a bit too Oscar-y, and we wanted to be a bit more our
Us.
brand. Yeah.
So no Will Smith slaps for this one, guys.
Sadly.
Or will there be?
You never know. There you go. Poll is coming up. Should be up when this episode's up. So fill that in, get on it, so we can make the awards running.
It shall be in the link in description.
Link in description. It'll be everywhere in the socials, I assume. So get on it.
Get on it.
That it?
Think so?
I'm happy.
Yeah. All right.
Happy day.
See you guys.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Bye. 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 Bye.